This is lecture 6. And our textbook for this lecture is the book, How to Resolve a Conflict. And what we do essentially is look at the book, the book's content, and then have discussions around what we have in the book. In lecture 5, we were guided by the content of chapter 2, which is what is mediation. And then we had very useful discussion around that. And I want to continue in that chapter today. Today we're looking at features of mediation. Don't forget, mediation is simply amicable dispute resolution. So we have called different things, or ADR, conciliation, but it's the focus is an amicable approach to effective conflict resolution. So permit me to read features of mediation. The first feature of mediation I have here is control. And it says the key feature of mediation is that, quote, parties do not give away the power to decide the outcome of their dispute, unquote. Parties do not give away the power to decide the outcome of their dispute. Very, very important. Parties in an amicable dispute resolution process, an amicable effective conflict resolution process, do not give away the power to decide the outcome of their dispute. They own the outcome. What comes out at the end of the day is what they agree to. I just quoted from, forgive me, I just quoted from Ackland. Ackland's at page 101. As I mentioned to you, my work is heavily influenced by Ackland. The first 3 chapters of my book, you'll see a lot of echoes of AC, AFM, Ackland, the author of A Sudden Outbreak of Common Sense, which I consider a classic, a foremost classic in effective conflict resolution and mediation. Now, I think we should discuss that. Oh, forgive me. That is not Ackland. That is D.E. Holland. Next page of the book, Ackland is cited, but here, what the quote I just cited for you is by D.E. Holland, and it's from the journal titled Construction of February 1992. I apologize for that wrong attribution. So he says, parties do not give away the power to decide the outcome of their dispute. Very, very important. What does this mean? I already started explaining that whatever is the outcome of an effective amicable dispute resolution process, whatever is the outcome is owned by the parties. Is owned by the parties. They determine the outcome. What they don't agree on, it does not bind them. They have that power to decide the outcome. The outcome is the resolution. We don't need to talk right now about whether it's a good resolution or not. Of course, if you're a good mediator, you should come out with a good outcome, a good agreement, as we said yesterday. in this lecture. Let's read on. Mediation allows a party to keep a firm control of the conflict and consequently to determine its outcome. I already explained that. This is why the outcome is called an agreement. Very important. The outcome of an effective, amicable dispute resolution is an agreement and not an award, as in arbitration, or a judgment, as in litigation, or a victory or defeat, as in wars. Power in mediation remains with the parties to determine procedure, time frame for settlement, terms of reference of the mediator, and other issues in the process. Power in mediation remains with the parties to determine procedure, time frame for settlement, terms of reference of the mediator, and other issues in the process. This feature of mediation helps parties to approach their conflict not as antagonists, but as joint problem solvers. Joint problem solvers. In that they participate fully in the resolution process. Working together with their mediator, they strive to identify the root of their conflict. The root of their conflict and jointly explore options for resolution and settlement. And what would this resolution and settlement or agreement look like? It will take care of their respective needs and interests. It will shun brinkmanship and violence. It will prevent loss of face. It will save their relationships and reduce future conflicts. Reduce future conflicts by providing mechanisms for resolving new conflicts without the use of an outsider, be it a judge, an arbitrator, or even a mediator. Now, what does that mean? When you are applying the skills that we are learning in this lecture series, you are able to apply it to conflicts in such a way that you become a trainer of trainers. What does that mean? As parties are going through the process, they may not know the terms, because they are not the professional mediator, you are. They may not know the terms, but they see how you take them from dispute, from conflict to the resolution. And so when they have a conflict in future, if you've done a good job as a mediator, when they have a conflict in future, all they will need to do is go through the processes you took them through between themselves directly. They don't need to call on you. They don't need to go to court. They don't need to go to an arbitrator. They use what you've taught them as an effective, skillful mediator to deal with future conflicts. That's why we say it provides mechanisms for resolving new conflicts without the use of an outsider, be it a judge, an arbitrator, or even a mediator. Now, that doesn't mean they will never need their mediator. That doesn't mean they will never go to court or go to arbitration. But what mediation does is change the people. It puts on their fingertips skills for looking at conflict holistically, effectively, and resolving them. Now, the conflict they face in future may be very complex, more challenging to resolve. Of course, in that situation, they may need to come to the mediator. As a matter of fact, they may need to have to go to court. They may need to have to go to arbitration. But that's conflicts that are not that they can apply the skills they've learned. I mean, going through the mediation process with you, they will be able to resolve those conflicts quickly, effectively, amicably, and so they would not need you. They may not need you in future. So that's control by the parties. of the process. So yeah, you are the mediator, you are the chairman of the process, or chairperson or chairlady of the process, but the parties don't lose control to you. They determine the outcome with your help. I think we'll stop here for today, and then we'll continue tomorrow. If except if there's yeah, I think it's convenient to stop here for today. And we'll continue tomorrow in lecture 7. Again, thank you for joining me to in this lecture series. And remember to post your comments, your critique, your recommendation. And there's nothing wrong with reading the book in advance. You can get them. You can get the book if you have a Kindle. You should be able to read free of charge. If you don't have a Kindle, you should be able to get an e-copy. And then if you like paperbacks, like hard copy, you could also get them. They're all available on Amazon. So see you tomorrow.